providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drugs, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach. Level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Taco Bell's new crispy chicken tacos and burritos are so delicious.
Wait, Taco Bell's a chicken place now?
Nope, they're a taco place.
So this crispy chicken taco's from another chicken place.
No, it's from Taco Bell.
But this chicken is all white meat with avocado ranch. Gotta be from a chicken place.
It's coated in crispy tortilla chips. That's Taco Place.
I don't know. It seems like Taco Bell's just a chicken place now.
Well, the crispy chicken also comes in burritos.
What is even real?
Try the new crispy chicken tacos and burritos from Taco Bell. Your taco place that's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we should see plenty of sunshine. Our high temperature this afternoon is going to soar all the way into the upper 90s. Later on tonight, a mainly clear sky, overnight lows in the middle 70s. And then on Saturday, lots of sunshine, a high into the mid-90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KE.
Watches it get out of here. Gackle sets and deals. He struck him out swinging. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Hey, good morning, Friday. Whew. This actually feels like a Friday for the first time in a long time. Matt Jones and Kristen Johnston and everybody listening on at ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Last Friday before school starts, but I hadn't had a full week of work in like 2 or 3 weeks. So, yeah, you know, the effort's been there all throughout this week, Matt Jones. It feels like a Friday. I'm looking forward to a couple days off. Guys put the pads on yesterday for the first time. So that kick, does it kick it up to 11 or just a tiny little bit closer to maybe 8 when you put the pads on?
Well, happy Friday, Phil Elson. Yeah, you want to hear it pop. What's the Rice Krispies snap, crackle, and pop?
That's right.
Let's get the pads on. Let's hit a little thud. Let's have a little pop. Let's go. It's you just kind of, like we were talking about the first day, you just have your helmets on and then kind of getting a little soreness, and then by whatever day this is, and a lot of times you'll see the quarterbacks will always wear their shoulder pads because it's throwing the football and handling it as a quarterback with your shoulder pads on is totally different than if you don't have your shoulder pads on. So a lot of times other guys might be in shells or something else, but you're always going to wear, a lot of times quarterbacks are always going to wear their pads.
Well, and back to the heat too. The summer heat, the morning heat, and getting out, just adding more things on top of it while the heat gets a little bit hotter. And then first scrimmage is tomorrow, so closed scrimmage. Coach Pittman and players will talk afterwards. Today it's the running backs, Coach Colby Smith, and Matt. It's a question you focused on quite a bit for Arkansas football here in this upcoming season, and you have hit on the number 1,000 for running backs quite a few times, looking for a 1,000-yard rusher. Do you know that there's been only one 1,000-yard rusher at Arkansas since Sam Pittman's been the head coach? It was Rocket Sanders in 2022, and what a season he had.
All-American.
But outside of that, not only is 1,000 a number that's tough to get to, heck, getting to 800 is a tough number. Last year, Jaquindon Jackson led the team with 790 yards, and that's the most outside of Sanders in the time that Sam's been the head coach. So, I think it's not really a matter of having an RB1 and an RB2. It's what I think it is it's a problem of running against good teams, which of course you face because you're Arkansas and this is an SEC schedule and Notre Dame's on there too. They've had success running against bad defenses, Texas Tech, Mississippi State. When it comes to trying to rush against, Ole Miss last year, Texas, even Tennessee to a point until Braylon Russell got loose a little bit late. A little trouble running against good teams, which I think goes exactly how, just Arkansas football went overall offensively last year, whether it was passing, whether it was pass blocking, everything that goes into it. But so sometimes it doesn't, maybe a little bit, with the Petrino offense, and I know you worked under an offense that was very heavy run-based, you got to be able to run the football in order to open up everything else.
Yeah, you want to find a way to integrate the tight ends. That's something that I think that they need to do. That helps. It helps kind of balance your offense, helps kind of open everything up. But yeah, if there's however you want to put the list of rules or what you're trying to accomplish. The main goal is, and I love what Coach Campbell said for the Detroit Lions. He said, "I don't care how many yards they have or we have, as long as we have one more point." So we'll start there. You gotta, if you can have more points than the other team, you win. But the two ways to make that possible is, third and manageable. When you have third and you can get first downs, and you have to be able to run the ball and stop the run. That's just the two things you have to be able to do. And then you go from there. Then if it's a play action pass, if it's a quick game pass, if it's your naked and boot, where you can move the pocket because Taylor Green is an athlete. There's screen game. There's other things you start. But the first two things that has to be it is you have to be able to run the football and you have to be able to stop the run.
Yeah, and I would still expect that at Arkansas, and it's independent of who the coach is. For me, I still think of Arkansas as, in the brand of Arkansas football, as a run-oriented club that should be able to get a 1,000-yard rusher. And for about 10, 11, 12, 13 years there, it was pretty much a guarantee. And, Matt, there can't be any surprise either that during the years where Arkansas has had a sustained, successful rushing attack, and I'm talking against the good teams too, these have been Arkansas's most successful years in the SEC. You're looking at the time that you were there under Coach Nutt, looking at the time that D-Mac and that great backfield were running the football, looking at guys like Nile Davis, looking at Alex Collins, Jonathan Williams. These were teams that in some cases were good, not great. In some cases, there were some great teams there too. But for me, just thinking in my head about Arkansas football, and maybe you got to take a little different look at it because it's different coach to coach and philosophy to philosophy. But I still think of Arkansas football as a program that should be able to run even in this SEC. And Matt, last year, they ran it well against bad teams and had trouble against the good teams. Just like the numbers I put out in terms of points per game yesterday. Against winning teams last year, Arkansas was 14th in the SEC in rushing yards per game. That's third worst, and the third worst yards per carry. And I know that also goes to sacks, which is going to, not necessarily be at your running backs. Sometimes it might be for a missed assignment. But the Hogs ran very well against teams with sub-500 records and didn't run very well against teams with above 500 records.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's a very interesting stat right there, and that's kind of, you don't the FCS schools. You can have stats that can go in the end of the year, album, yearbook, whatever you want it to be. But we know those aren't real stats. We're not talking about what do you do against Alabama A&M. We're talking about what do you do against Ole Miss in Oxford week 3. What's going on there?
That's exactly right, and so. Well, you can always point to, well, this is what our team did overall over the course of last year, but it's going to matter much more against programs like you just mentioned, and it's going to have to come up big this year, considering that you're playing those really good teams that you struggled to run against on the road in their own stadiums now this year, and even in your own stadium, you're going to get a really stout defense in Notre Dame. And you're going to have to be able to establish the run. And look, you got some returners here, and I've always liked A.J. Green. I don't know how much he's going to play into things this year, but I like him in terms of depth. They're talking so much about Mike Washington, Matt, right now, and I think Dudley yesterday thinks there's still open competition between him and Braylon Russell for RB1, but I do like the two of them together. I thought that Rodney Hill looked like a good third down back, catching it out of the backfield, and A.J. Green, too. They're talking about Cam Settles, Markalen Batten, too, so I guess those two freshmen are looking good. I don't know how much they're going to play very much this year, but, hopefully I like the depth at the position. And, hey, Jaquindon Jackson was good last year when he wasn't all banged up, and that did happen to him quite a bit. The way they're talking about Mike Washington, it's the same way they were talking about J.J. last season.
Well, and then also we all know what's going to happen week 3 against Ole Miss. One of those running backs, once we get to about the 37-yard line, he's going to run on that wheel route, and hopefully if that's Rodney Hill, whoever that is, that Petrino's going to call that play 4 or 5 times this year, and when it matters, when in the scoring, I don't think he'll call it the first 2 weeks, but that Ole Miss game, you better believe he'll have that wheel route dialed up, have a look that they'll, study and film what to do, and hopefully, that we have better execution this year.
I want to see them be able to run that thing on first down. You talk about third down and manageable. What about the ability to run the ball on third down for a first down, which means you're about, 3rd and 2? Let's see a little bit more 3rd and 2s. Something tells me being successful on 1st and 10, we'll have a little bit more to have some 3rd and 1s and some 3rd and 2s and the ability to run that ball for a first down. Halftime on a Fridays will get you out of your last week before school starts for many of our listeners. Well, at least your kids, not you, I think. We'll have Neil Atkinson, Bet Sarrazin in hour number 3. We'll have a Fish City Grill trivia question this hour to give away a $25 gift card to Fish City Grill in Rogers. And in just a moment, we'll check in on Aaron Torres and see what it is he's got going on. Plus, lots of time for calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. That's 877-377-6963. All right, we check in with Aaron Torres in just a moment on Halftime.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs? Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-13 3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box. Now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
Go summers nipping on the run. Now the beach front, nights 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS, and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with MyBookie.
Information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
They did a bad, bad thing. 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 You ever love someone so much you thought your little heart was gonna break in two? I didn't think so. You ever try with all your heart and soul to get your lover back to you? I wanna hold you. You ever pray with all your heart and soul just to want to walk away?
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on Halftime, heading to our Lewis Automotive Hotline with the one and only Aaron Torres joining us from Aaron Torres Media, Aaron Torres Sports Podcast, Fox Sports Radio on a Friday where it's almost football season. But AT, SEC basketball schedule got released earlier this week. They teased it a little bit with the first weekend with Arkansas, Tennessee, and a couple of other games I can't remember. But then we loved seeing a Saturday, January 31st home game against Kentucky, hoping it's a night game. And it was just nice to see a little basketball before we really dive into football practice.
Yeah, no, I think the SEC, to its credit, I think, they did a good job of, I just think those first few Saturdays in really January and February are going to be really, really, really fun. And we know it's a football world. We get it's a football world. But I think the counter to that is that once football kind of starts to wind down and frankly wrap up, it's good to know that the league is, knows how valuable its basketball product is and is now giving us games that we want. So it's funny because I was thinking about last year, the Tennessee game when Arkansas went there. Now we get the return to Bud Walton Arena. So fun set of news. And, it was good. It was good to kind of get everything out there and kind of know official dates and times and all that stuff.
Yeah, and now obviously it's football season, really, because it's the middle of practice right now, and just kind of hoping that we're not in a place where, maybe like 6 or 7 weeks from now we're talking basketball again. The first month. Oh God, that's not what you want here. It's not what you want here. And I think the only school that may be going into the season, maybe a couple of them that's thinking that could happen, would be Kentucky, and they always talk basketball, but this isn't really looking like a great year for Kentucky football, even though they did everything they possibly could to keep Mark Stoops around. And Mississippi State, I think, not too much expected from them, but they may be talking basketball in September. We're hoping the Hogs are not, Aaron. And in order to do that, probably need to go 3-2.
You'll know this better than me. I think Mississippi State might just start talking baseball and fall ball workouts and bullpen depth and all that stuff in about 2 weeks. It's funny, I'll let you in on a little secret that I probably shouldn't, but I will anyway because we're all friends here. Just keep it between me, you, and Phil, Matt. I've already told my producer, Matt, I've said, hey, I know September, October is football season. I don't really plan on stopping to stop talking Kentucky and Arkansas basketball specifically, even in September, assuming there's something noteworthy. I mean, I'm not going to be doing a 30-minute breakdown of DJ Wagner's form on his jump shot or anything like that. But, if there's something newsworthy, I think in the past I've tended to really kind of, just focus on football and stay with football at least until we get into November. But I think, with the excitement specifically around those two teams, transparently, I see from a distance a lack of excitement around the football programs. And I think the other thing, too, we criticize the NCAA for everything, but allowing these exhibition games, all of a sudden, that kind of really moves the season up another week or two. I don't know if Arkansas officially has anything on the books. I know there was talk of Memphis, but, Kentucky plays an exhibition against Purdue, in the second to last week of October. Tennessee hosts Duke at an exhibition the second to last week of October. All of a sudden, that's content that, frankly wasn't there even 2 years ago that is now. So listen, I'm hoping the Hogs go undefeated in football, and I'm hoping that Calipari's team and the squad is an afterthought until we get to November and December. But I think also realistically, not only is there so much excitement about the basketball team, but we'll probably be talking about them a little earlier than normal, I hate to say it. So.
Hey, AT, I know Arkansas has Notre Dame coming in, and it kind of got me thinking a little bit about some of the running backs. And usually the SEC, I mean, you just think back the last 10, 20 years, the SEC's loaded with running backs. Jeremiah Love, the running back for Notre Dame, he might be the best running back we've faced this year. What's your thoughts on Jeremiah Love?
Yeah, I mean, listen, as far as, I'll just be transparent. So Cade Klubnik from Clemson is my Heisman. I think he's going to win the Heisman. That would be my pick today. But I think if you're looking for dark horse Heisman picks, Jeremiah Love would be it. And guys, I'll tell you this, is that I actually think that Arkansas game kind of looms large on Notre Dame's schedule. I mean, if you look at their schedule, they open at Miami, then they have a really early bye. Then they get Texas A&M at home. And then after that, the schedule really lightens up, USC, whatever. And so I just bring it up because, listen, we know how you guys know better than I do, but I know from a distance how tough Razorback Stadium is to play in, just as Tennessee, just as Texas in Sark's first year. And it's like, one, if Notre Dame gets through those first two games, they're probably headed towards something close to an undefeated season. But also if they split those first two games, if they lose those first two games, all of a sudden that game against Notre Dame or against Arkansas becomes that much more important. So I know that there is a lot of excitement around that game. I know actually it's turned into a kind of a big recruiting weekend. I think you guys are having a couple campus student athletes on campus that weekend. But I just bring it up because that game kind of does loom pretty large on Notre Dame's schedule. Obviously, not a game that they would want to lose if they're, serious about making another playoff run. So I just think it's interesting how it falls on the schedule. But yes, to your point, Matt, Jeremiah Love is really good. And if I was kind of giving out a list of kind of dark horse players to potentially compete for a Heisman, I think Notre Dame running back who rushed for well over 1,000 yards and close to 20 touchdowns last year, you could pick a lot worse of a candidate.
Real quick on just to bring something up on basketball and translate that to football. They're not expanding March Madness for 2026, and it's like a collective sigh amongst college basketball fans. Thank goodness, because it doesn't seem like anybody wants this. I wonder, what do you think? What is the feeling that you hear or feel around expansion of the football playoff and maybe changes to that? And I think what people don't want is another thing that's March Madness that's an added first four. And I think the feeling is if you're adding another 4 teams or whatever, that's essentially what you're doing to the football playoff. And I wonder if maybe, adding more home games or campus sites. I thought the campus sites was really cool. Do you see any similarities in the way that people are viewing expansion of March Madness and it not happening and potential expansion of the football playoff?
Well, it's a great question. So I think that, we were all, as a public, just kind of duped as far as the second we got to 12, it was just presented to us as a foregone conclusion that we were getting maybe 14, probably 16. Now, you guys, I think, know where I stand, but I never really felt like we needed to expand to 12 because I think, you let in a lot of teams that aren't good enough to win the championship, but I get 12. 12 had its benefits. 12 was fun. I'm not going to deny that. I bring it up because as we've gotten deeper into the spring and summer, and it's clear, I don't think it's public posturing. I think the SEC and Big Ten fundamentally disagree on what that playoff should look like, and maybe as importantly, how teams get there, are there play-in games, all of that stuff. Why I bring that up is because, to me, it does feel like there's a lot of people that have come around to the idea now that it doesn't feel like it's pressing, that it's going to happen and that we're not going to get an announcement in the next week or the next 2 weeks or whatever, that why do we need it? And I've actually seen a lot of people very publicly come out and say that. I think Dan Wetzel from ESPN wrote a column. I know Nicole Auerbach did from where she works at. And so I only bring it up because I think there are a lot of people that are like, wait, why do we need 4 more teams? And we saw how those first-round games went last year, and I think we haven't really totally figured out this 12-team format yet, especially in the expanded conference era where teams are playing imbalanced schedules. So from my perspective, I think that independent of the basketball stuff, I think the fact that we're kind of at a stalemate on how to get to 16 has made a lot of people reevaluate. Do we need to go to 16? And just really quickly, I do think there are some parallels with March Madness and this is my concern with expansion, is how many teams do you let in before it just completely devalues the regular season, where you're talking about teams with 3-4 losses getting into a college football playoff. And then at that point, that kind of has just eliminated everything that college football always was and why we loved it. So that's where I think it is. Long story short is I think now that 16 isn't imminent, I think a lot of people are taking a step back and saying, why exactly do we need to go to 16 again? I need an explanation on that.
I also say in some cases, like the idea of a Cinderella, if you're adding more teams to the college football playoff, you're not adding group of 5 teams. You're adding Power 4.
Exactly.
And I wonder if that's the same idea if they expand March Madness, because I don't think they're expanding that for the Big West or for the Missouri Valley or Ohio Valley or anything like that. The Sun Belt, they're expanding that for the SEC and the Big Ten and the Big 4 leagues and the Big
100%.
East, basically. I mean, and that's the thing. Nobody really wants to see that because nobody will believe that these teams really belong there anyway.
Well, that's 100% accurate, Phil. And that's my frustration is, and I've said this a lot with the basketball side of things, everything is already so weighted for the power conference teams. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, 68 teams get in. I mean, we could do the math, but I mean, even if you want to include, say, the Mountain West and like an A10 type leagues as, like school, like the point I'm trying to make, like everything is so weighted towards the Big Ten and really the Power Four leagues as it is. It's like if you can't get into this field, like that's kind of on you. I mean, you go back to the bubble last year in the NCAA tournament. This was still one of the craziest things. I'll just give you a random example, but until the last week of the season, Nebraska was on the bubble. Now, why does that matter? Why should you care? Nebraska did not qualify for the Big Ten tournament. The Big Ten let in, I think, 14 teams, 15 teams, or 14 teams. 4 teams stayed at home. Nebraska did not qualify for the Big Ten tournament, and until the final week of the season, they were on the bubble. And if you add 4 or 6 more teams, it means that Nebraska, which couldn't qualify for its own conference tournament, was going to be in the NCAA tournament. So, yes, Phil, everything would go to the power leagues. I'm sorry, if you can't finish in the top 8, 9, 10 of the SEC or the Big 10 or the Big 12, you've had your opportunities. And to your point, it's not as though the selection committee is going to say, well, this team. No, they're going to go by what the computers print out. The computers print out favoritism for the conference, the power conferences, and it will lead to just more bad power conference teams getting in rather than the 28-5 team from some conference that you're not familiar with that probably deserves that spot.
Yeah, absolutely, AT. Let's leave it there. Right up against a break. Hope everything's going well in SoCal, and looking forward to visiting again next week, okay?
Yeah, it's hot. That's all I can tell you. It's going to be well over 100 today, so yikes. I'm going to get in the pool after I talk to you guys, and you guys have a great day, though. I'm talking too much. You got to get the commercial. Have a great day.
Have a great day, AT. Going to the pool just makes me jealous automatically because we've still got about 2.5 hours left here, and I'd love to get in the pool. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Hotline. You can get over to Joe's Grilling Cantina anytime today. Enjoy their Fajita Friday special. Dine in only, $1 off any and all fajitas all day long. And that is at Joe's Grilling Cantina at 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith. You can go to joesfortsmith.com, get a look at the menu, or put in an order. And we are back with more Halftime right after this quick break.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
This is Halftime.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow. That's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code $1 for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code $1. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code $1 for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code $1.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
The back-to-school rebate for a limited time at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Troy got a great selection, plus this special rebate in the month of August.
Tommy, you know just as well as I do, we both got kids, and when it's school time and they're going back, you are spending more money than you could possibly imagine. So this back-to-school rebate, if you've got kids going back to school, if you purchase a vehicle from us, you can use that back-to-school rebate as a discount, or you can get $1,500 back in your pocket when you buy from Harry Robinson. And let's say you don't have a kid going to school. You just want to come in and buy a car. This rebate is for everybody. So you can use that back to school rebate as a discount on the car, or you can get a check back for $1,500.
And this deal won't last forever.
No, it definitely won't. You know, we're going back to school in August. So come and see us. Let us save you some money. Utilize this back to school rebate of $1,500.
Only at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range. Truly an unlucky state to be in.
This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket.
State as in a state of being, not... Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks.
This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. I stopped by Shangri-La Resort here in Mount Ida, Arkansas. My buddy Phil Carr got the hamburger steak. He convinced me on some apple pie. Phil, I know you guys have some family groups that even come from like Shreveport and other cities out of town. They need to think Shangri-La Resort.
Yes, definitely. We have a lot of groups that come in August. We have a lot of fishing groups float into August, into September, especially from up north, come in and fish for stripers. It's just a great time. That's my favorite time of the year. Shangri-La Resort in beautiful Mount Ida, Arkansas. A touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Oh, darling, please believe me. Never do you no harm. Believe tell you, never do you no harm. Oh, darling, if you leave me, never make it alone.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
Looking on the BetSaracen app here, Matt, I think Arch Manning's odds for being the first overall pick have slid a little bit since Grandpa Archie said yesterday he's not going to declare for the 2026 draft. So now we know that let's already crown him Heisman Trophy winner, national champion Texas, and an obvious first overall pick in next year's draft. All this is now taken care of. Don't worry about it. He's not going to the draft. before he's even
There's
started a game for Texas
It's
this
a
year.
no-brainer, man. There's no way he should go to the draft. He's a little bit undersized. I'm not saying he doesn't have talent, but the amount of money you can make in college football and to get reps, man, I would play as long in college football as they'll let you.
But, yeah, maybe it looks like another year, though, too, for him. 877-377-6963 calls and texts. I just love the idea. Don't worry, you're not going into the draft. Here we are. It's 21 days before game 1, and already worried about the 2026 draft.
Which quarterback do you think plays better? Will Howard, I think, is a little underrated, but I don't know how you're underrated when you win a national title. But that was the quarterback at Ohio State last year. He was at K-State and they won back-to-back, Big 12, then goes to Ohio State. I don't know who Ohio State's quarterback's going to be, but we know who Texas's quarterback's going to be. How do you see that going? Do you think, Arch Manning goes up there and, let's say he throws 3 picks and 187 yards in that first game, or does he go up there and throw 3 touchdowns and throw for 280?
Man, I can't wait to actually watch the game and see what the answer is going to be here, because that's a great place to be going on the road for your first start.
Best safety in the country. Probably the number 1 defensive player in the draft is playing for Ohio State.
That's a moment where you'd really like to get some preseason, you had a little preseason yesterday. Burrow got some playing time yesterday, just a drive or two. Now, albeit there are closed door scrimmages against your own team, and the Texas roster is a fairly good roster, so maybe that gets you ready for a team like Ohio State too. But you want to talk about going right into the fire for your first start to be at Ohio State, with everything else that goes around the hype of just being a guy with Manning as your last name. Boy, that is definitely a little bit wild. Talking Texas, Brian in Ozarks, ears were burning. Here he is on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Brian, what's up? How are you?
Oh, not much. I had to call. I will say one thing. I know that y'all keep talking about defensive back. What's the name? Cade Stern or something?
Who, in Ohio State?
From Ohio State.
Caleb Downs.
No, the yeah, okay. I mean, if it's a foot race between him and Arch can blow him away because he's faster. But, it's just like last year, the Smith kid, the receiver at Ohio State, was a non-factor. He had 18 yards. So, I think Texas, like I said, Texas will win that game. And it's good that Arch is staying. The dude can hum an 80-yard bomb.
Can he outrun Taylon Green? I don't think he can outrun Taylon Green.
Yeah, he can.
I don't know about that.
He was considered
line
the
up side by
second
side.
fastest. He was considered the second fastest athlete in all of football last year. Oh, I was just saying that I think it's going to be a great game.
What did I read here? I saw a report, a 4.6 40? It's pretty good for a quarterback. Pretty good.
Pretty sure Taylon can run something faster than that.
I think
guessing.
Taylon's right about that.
Oh, okay.
Is my understanding. But if it turns into a foot race with him and Downs, some of that's also going to matter on the kind of angle that Downs has on him, because that's a tremendous. I mean, they'll be up against each other potentially in the future, not just this year.
Ohio State's going to have a lot of problems with Texas defense. A lot of problems. But I just wanted to chime in and throw that out there.
All right, thanks, Brian. Brian's sure about this, Matt. Absolutely sure about this.
Texas's front seven's tough. I'll give Brian that. That D line Texas has, that's a real defensive line. What Ohio State team shows up? Is it the team that shows up in the playoffs where they were beating everybody? Those we forget, I think. Ohio State, not only did they beat everybody last year in the playoffs, it wasn't even close. It was like UConn basketball beating everyone when their coach said, "Yeah, we're not very good at winning close games, so we just got to beat everybody by double digits." That's what Ohio State was doing. Now I don't know if they're not going to be on that form, but Ohio State's just as talented as anybody.
Did Brian claim that Manning's the second fastest player in the sport, or the second fastest quarterback in college football? Because I know there are guys out there that run faster than 4.6 40, even in that position too. Though that's fast for that position, but I think there's some out there that are a little quicker. Anyway, I don't know. There's all the questions of how is he going to handle all of this. I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows, but I do know that it's somebody that's been. It's like this is the moment that they've all been waiting for. Not the commitment to Texas. Not even filling in for Ewers, but being the man, being the guy, being QB1 from the very start, being QB1 from before last season even ended, knowing you're going into next year as the guy, and everything that builds around it. Peyton handled it well. Eli handled it really well. Archie obviously handled it really well, though that was a little bit different. He didn't have that whole your father or your grandfather is one of the greatest in the sport in this conference's history. So I wonder, I'm not sure that has anything to do with his athleticism or ability to run the Sark offense. I just have to do about dealing with the pressure, and I bet you he can. That would be my guess, just based on the family lineage, based on the DNA. I bet you he'll handle it.
When you have a lot of noise, Phil, and I think you get this, but when there's a lot of talking, a lot of hype, your sanctuary, your safe place is actually on the football field. Because you're tired of all the talking and you just, hey, let's go to work, let's grind. And then once you get out there on the football field, you almost relax a little bit because it's all the hype and all the hoopla and it's just like, oh, you're like, when are we going to go play?
Well, and he's not, he doesn't come across.
That's what I mean. I think he handles it well. Yeah. Like his safe place would be the football. He just wants to get out there, it seems like.
So he's the most talked about quarterback for this year. Last year was a great year for quarterbacks, but even with, Cam Ward and McCarthy and all of those guys. It's just the idea of Shedeur Sanders was the most talked about quarterback. Just because of, and he's somebody that's seeking out the attention. I wondered sometimes, where's his sanctuary? Somebody that has his own, big podcast and YouTube channels and just, that also had to do with the DNA of his dad and where he comes from. For Manning, it does feel a little bit different because when he's at SEC Media Days, he's talking about, well, I just want to be a football player. And I listen to somebody like him who says that, and I think, yeah, good luck. But in his mind, that's what he's got to think he is. Second fastest athlete is what Seth heard. I doubt Arch Manning was the second fastest athlete in college football this last year. No way. But the two of them together, him and Downs, that'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to watch them go against each other. Downs already has this guy's been a stud in the SEC and in the Big Ten. So I'd give him the edge. I really would. Something Aaron mentioned last segment, Matt, about the Notre Dame road schedule. The coming to Arkansas is going to be their toughest road environment of the year. And some of this has to do with just how well Notre Dame fans travel. Some of it isn't even just a matter of they travel. It's that people root for them where they go play. It's a national brand, a worldwide brand. So when they go play at Miami, and look, the Miami Hurricanes, they don't have some great home field advantage based on packing Hard Rock Stadium. No, they rarely ever do. I bet you there's going to be more Notre Dame fans at that game. At least it would come across it would. Boston College and Pitt and Stanford are the other three places that Notre Dame plays. Boston College has no great atmosphere. Pitt can't sell out Acrisure Stadium. They will for Notre Dame, but it'll be because Irish fans buy tickets. And going to Stanford, that's been a bottom-of-the-barrel program for a couple years now, and they're rebuilding up. So, there's a ton of Notre Dame fans on the West Coast, and I'm sure there are some around here. But them coming to Fayetteville, Matt, is going to be the toughest road environment. They only play 4 road games this year, 8 at home, and coming into Razorback Stadium is going to be A1 toughest road environment for Notre Dame, and I don't even think it's going to be close.
Do you think the fact that the game's at 11 o'clock doesn't make it as tough, though?
Yeah, probably.
Do you think if it was a 7 o'clock game that it would be a little tougher?
Just the build-up. It's going to be. I think
it's going to be rocking, man.
I would hope, no matter what, 11 o'clock in the morning, you make your plans. Throw away the excuses. It's Notre Dame for the first time ever against Arkansas.
I'm surprised it's not already sold out. Our people aren't camping out already
the Texas game at 11 last year. That was a great atmosphere.
That was great. You're right.
That really was. For an 11 o'clock kickoff, that was about as good as you can get. All the fans were into it. It was pretty full.
Man, that first pass that our linebacker tipped, that he catches that and goes in for a pick six, that would have been. We had a couple chances in that Texas game. We did. We'll have some chances. The beauty of college football and when you have some talent, most of these games going into the third quarter, flipping over to the fourth quarter, they're going to be one-score games. Like, you're going to be in a lot of these games. It's your attention to detail. It's can you make plays in the crunch time.
And I mean, you think of some of the close games over the years, and it's not just Pittman. There's close games every year with every coach. It's just with him as the coach. It's just that those games have tilted more towards the opponent. They just have. Almost every A&M game last year was another heartbreaker. You know, Missouri, another close one last year. Heck, you know, Ole Miss, even in 2021, another close one. And that's not on Coach Pittman, that one. But just feels like all the close ones, or at least more than 2/3 of the close ones, just go slide the opponent's way. Man, I'm fired up about Notre Dame coming in, because I've been to a Notre Dame Pitt game at Pitt Stadium, and it was when Pitt was really bad, and the place still was about 3/4 full with Notre Dame fans. And then I remember going to the last game ever that they played at Pitt Stadium, and they did sell it out, and they upset Notre Dame. And the atmosphere on that field might have been a little bit of a reason why. But that's a stadium of about 55,000. You could get 78,000 into Razorbacks. I mean, fill all the seats. And at 11 o'clock in the morning, Christian Springdale says he's at peak energy at 11 in the morning. Aren't all of you? Stay with us. Back to wrap up hour. Speaking of peak energy, it's still the 11 o'clock hour. We'll back to wrap up the first hour in a moment.
This is halftime.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
You ever get decision paralysis, like figuring out what to watch or what to eat? Well, the same applies if you're hiring. It can be overwhelming to have too many candidates to sort through. But with ZipRecruiter, you can proactively find the best ones quickly. How? Through their innovative resume database. ZipRecruiter's resume database uses advanced filtering to quickly hone in on top candidates for your roles. See someone who stands out? You can unlock their contact info instantly. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Every day brings new possibility, like which Lux Cravings box you'll get from Taco Bell. Get classics for $5, faves for $7, or pure decadence for $9. Now with a new crispy chicken burrito, tender, juicy chicken battered in tortilla chips and rolled into grilled burrito form. The possibilities. Choose from the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes reasons. Tax extra.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Sundown.
Blue sky up ahead, it's like a diamond in the rough. Man on a wire, pushing out and telling him good luck. Getting it off my chest, I'm about to explode on the inside. May I make a request? Put your loving on me in the meantime.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I saw a couple people. They must have been bringing up the anthracite jerseys on the Morning Rush because a couple texted in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline like, yes, I like the anthracite jerseys. I do say that I've seen anthracite for basketball. I've seen them for football. A lot of times it doesn't lead to a win. Baseball never wins anthracite. Baseball wins a lot. Maybe we ought to go in that direction. I don't know. I'm just saying, if we're going by the outcomes of most of these games, they're not bad-looking uniforms, though. It's just a matter of how you feel you play in those things. Potentially the worst uniforms in the history of sports were debuted today. Chicago, 1976. White Sox that year, Matt, wore collared jerseys. And I'm not just talking like a collar like you might have on a collared shirt.
Kind of like a soccer, yeah.
Very wide, ugly, dark blue collars. And they would wear the same color. It was a navy blue pair of pants. But today, in 1976, the White Sox went a step farther, not only with the collared jerseys, but they wore Bermuda shorts. They wore
They need to bring
navy
them back,
blue Bermuda shorts to go along with the highest socks you've ever seen in the history of non-NBA circa the 70s or the 80s. Just amazing looking uniforms that I think they wore 2 or 3 times and then gave up on it. And baseball's not meant to be played by guys wearing shorts. It's the first thing you notice when you watch a league of their own. Like, how do these women do this? Playing in skirts. It's never meant for shorts either, and not even just that, Matt. It just looked stupid.
Well, it's you look good, play good, and I think most athletes are a little stitious. So I don't know. That just
they don't want to feel like they look stupid. You can appreciate the idea of different looking uniforms, like the Steelers debuted. I think they're and these are weird looking uniforms from their original season in 1933. But you don't want to be out there feeling like you're being laughed at by a national television audience. I was reading where the Phillies used to wear once, like they called it I think the Saturday Night Special, an all burgundy uniform. I mean, from head to toe, from hat all the way down to shoes. And they hated how they looked so much, they put all of those uniforms in a pile and they burned them. The White Sox were supposed to have worn these same jerseys and shorts for a Throwback the Clock game about 6 years ago when Chris Sale was supposed to pitch in the game. And Sale hated these uniforms so much, he refused to let his teammates wear them So Sale literally cut the uniforms up into pieces. There's no way you can wear that.
That's a way to remedy the problem right there.
It sure is. He got fined for it, but I think if you were one of his teammates, you'd have helped pay the guy's fine. Though I think he was also one of the more higher-paid White Sox of that year. Yeah, that's right. Greg says they look like a slow-pitch softball team. Greg, the thing is, though, is how many times have you seen even a slow-pitch softball team wear collared jerseys? Not too often. Not too often. And a lot of people, when you go with anthracite, do you like how it looks, but you feel that it's bad luck, it's bad mojo. And what matters even more in this, you want the guys to look good and feel good while they're doing it. Usually that means they'll go out and play well. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Hotline. We're looking good. We're feeling good. We're into hour number 2 of halftime right after this.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit. Split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we should see plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon are going to soar all the way into the upper 90s. Later on tonight, a mainly clear sky, overnight lows in the middle of 70s. And then on Saturday, lots of sunshine, a high into the mid-90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 22 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
"12:01 halftime on a Friday, second hour, and welcome back in on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com, the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston. This is a guestless hour up until, no guests until 1:15. That's when Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen will join us. We will have a Fish City Grill trivia question to get to in this hour as well. Got a $25 gift card to Fish City Grill that we can give away. Fish City Grill, of course, is located in Rogers. And a happy birthday to proprietor Brett Brundage. I think that birthday was on Tuesday, I believe. Former Arkansas baseball player. Saw him throw out a first pitch at a Hogs baseball game this year. Can't remember which one it was, but he did throw a strike. A little pressure around throwing a strike, and when it comes to throwing that ceremonial first pitch. But he looked good doing it, too. Great specials at Fish City Grill all month long. Ask about jalapeno bacon cobia tacos with grilled cobia, sweet chipotle aioli, cheddar jack cheese, pico, and sweet potato fries. Or you can get the Matt Jones go-to Texas redfish and grilled shrimp. Comes with crawfish, butter sauce, dirty rice, and herb green beans. 479-636-8833 for Fish City Grill. They're located on South Bellevue Road in Rogers. Get Uber Eats or order online at fishcitygrill.com. Redfish and shrimp does sound pretty good, Matt. Sounds really good. Got to figure out a menu for the weekend for the kids before school starts. Redfish and shrimp would be good to make.
I lived at Shadow Valley up there by the Rogers Promenade years ago, and I would visit Fish City once a month. Man, it's that's a good joint.
So here's our Fish City Grill trivia question. I was looking through our birthday list. Bruce Matthews, Hall of Fame offensive guard for the Houston Oilers, Tennessee Titans franchise, was born today in 1961. I think he's been gone for about 10, 11 years now. But he's man, there is some kind of family lineage going on with Bruce Matthews here. So the question would be, as we just had our first set of brothers go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Sterling Sharp and Shannon Sharp, who are the only brothers to ever play for the same conference Pro Bowl team? It's only happened 2 years, and it was the same set of brothers that did it. If you answer the question right, you'll get the $25 gift card to Fish City Grill. Text it in, 877-377-6963. Sterling and Shannon Sharp in the Hall of Fame. Lloyd and Paul Wayner are the only brothers in Cooperstown. And then I saw that Dick and Al McGuire are the only set of brothers in Springfield at the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. And then there's Cheryl and Reggie Miller as the only set of brother-sister. 877-377-6963 to send them in here. Tiki and Rondé Barber did not play on the same Pro Bowl team that I saw. Now, sometimes I get some of these through Wiki. So the questions and the answers, who knows? I may have to research that a little bit more. I'm going to go to the phones, though. We got the Toonie here with us. And Charlie, you are live on the air. How you doing today?
I appreciate you reminding me, Phil. I think sometimes I forget.
No, I only said that just to say it. That's for no other reason. Literally no other reason.
Hey, guess what? I know the answer to this question, but the tuna can't get to the Fish City and Grill, so he ain't going to answer it. So I'm going to leave it to your amazing texters. But okay. I definitely know, because you said Pro Bowl, right? That immediately.
Pro Bowl team.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. But anyway, how you guys doing? How's y'all's Friday going?
Yeah, we're doing really well. It's good to hear from you today.
Well, I was gonna say, Matt, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make this phone call pretty quick. I got a couple of things here I was gonna ask you though. The joint practice thing. How beneficial do you think that is to teams in the NFL? Do you think it's something that every team should look into? And also, when you're a team, I was going to ask you this too. When you're a team like Dallas, and I heard their coach the other day say, "We're not going to show much in the preseason because we're going to run a new scheme here, offensively and defensively." And so, when you're a team that is like that, obviously, do you think that's the plan there, to do there? When you're a team that has a new coaching staff, you shouldn't show much in the preseason, right? Be very vanilla, because I mean, you got to get ready for Philly. You don't want to show too much. And then, do you think there would be any way? Phil, I want to ask you this too, like for college football to even implement this in some sort of way, because I don't know. I guess it probably wouldn't make sense, but I don't know how you would do it. The joint practice thing in college. I don't know. I guess you'd have to make it local, but then it would have to be, against somebody kind of on your playing field. But anyway, y'all have a good one.
Matt, go ahead.
Well, yeah, it is beneficial. You want to go against, other people with a different colored jersey. So I always like that. I forget what was his second question.
I was actually looking up the brothers who played in the Pro Bowl.
With the way the portal is right now, there's absolutely 0.0% chance you would do that in college. There's absolutely not. I can't see any college coach saying they want to do that. And that next level though, it's good to, and when you're, I remember what he's saying. So when you're playing. When you're in the preseason game, there's a lot of evaluating going on, and a lot of times there's 53 men on the roster, and there's only like 7 jobs that are open on each team. There's not like there's a lot of jobs open. And so it's about winning your matchups. It's about one-on-one. Can you make plays? Can you stand out? Do you belong, on the football field on Sunday? So that's you're just kind of figuring, you're figuring that out a little bit in the preseason. You're not really scheming anything up. You're worried about what you can do. All right, well, we have a check. If we see a blitz, we know what we're doing. We're not really going over. We're not really game planning, but you're kind of you still have rules that you go by.
So I didn't do a great job with this question today because I should have asked the question, who was the first set of brothers? Because the Matthews brothers are the first to play in the Pro Bowl on the same Pro Bowl team together in the 80s for 3 years. Clay with Cleveland, Bruce with Houston, but there have been a few since, and we've had some correct answers that have come in here as well. Tiki and Rondé, the Barber brothers did play together on the NFC teams for 3 years, 2002,
Giants
03,
and
07.
Buccaneers, both NFC. Yeah.
Marquise and Mike Pouncey, both centers in the AFC. Marquise with the Steelers, Mike with the Dolphins, and the Chargers. They were part of 3 Pro Bowl AFC teams together. The McCourty brothers, yes, 2010. Jason was an alternate. Devin was voted to it. And there you go. And then the Matthews brothers, who were the first to pull it off in the late 80s. I don't know if you've had 3 sets. If there was, well, I mean, in that case, you'd have 2 brothers and a son, and one of the sons with Clay Jr. So anyway, this would be one of those moments where I think if it's a baseball broadcast, Bubba looks at me and reminds me that, hey, you're doing a great job over there, which is always a great way of saying you just screwed up.
Knocking it out of the park.
That's exactly right.
That
one's on me.
When you asked the question, my initial was Tiki and Rondé, and then but you're kind of giving a little, quality. You're talking about Clay or Bruce Matthews, so it's kind of like, well, maybe he had a brother too, but yeah, that's the first one I thought of was Rondé and Tiki.
So we're just gonna go update this Wikipedia page on the Matthews brothers that said, and this is the thing that's my problem is you can't ever trust everything you say that you see on this. There it is. Clay and Bruce are the only brothers to play on the same Pro Bowl team, doing so for the AFC in 88 and 89. We don't know when this thing was updated. So it doesn't matter when it was updated. So the question, who won, which comes from Chris in Colorado, is I don't know who won, because I may have to come up with another trivia question since I screwed this one up. It's great when these things happen live on the air. There are a few commercial breaks coming up in the next, couple of hours, and I can dial up another trivia question, one that'll actually be a little bit more accurate, and and that there aren't 6 or 7 answers to. So if I picked anybody to win this who sent in the correct answers, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different correct answers. Thank you very much, B.E. in Clarksville, for reminding me that I'm doing a great job. Which is, again, the best way to remind us that you're completely screwing the whole thing up.
I'm on your side.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes. All right, I'm going to take a break. We will all take a break. I'm going to try to dial up another trivia question. This is all sorts of fun. Nobody won that one. I tell you who lost, though, and it was me. We'll be right back with more halftime in a moment.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
It's like this guy is dominating offensively.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box. Now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
Go summers nipping on the run. Now the beach front, nights 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with MyBookie.
Buttermilk biscuit, and our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
You know I walked in alone. That was a long time ago. Now I'm at your side.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, Matt, I know I really screwed up because I even got to bless your heart on the text line. Forget if I'm being told I'm doing a great job and then I got to bless my heart, mark it down August 8th, 2025. That is danger territory here.
You say, aw.
Next thing, someone's going to call up and give you with all due respect. That'll be the next one to come on.
Second fastest player in college football.
So I can't give out 7 $25 gift cards, but I can lickety-split come up with another brand new and now accurate Fish City Grill trivia question. Thank you very much. Talking about rushing yards earlier on the show, and the Razorbacks have had 18 different 1,000-yard rushing seasons by either a quarterback or a running back, mostly running backs. I think in case just about every one of them is a running back. But in terms of receiving yards, there have been 5 18 1,000-yard rushing seasons in Arkansas history. The media guide goes back to 1945. The receiving yards, and the guide goes back to 1929, and only 5 wide receivers have had a 1,000-yard season. Who are they? I need all 5 of them. And the first one to send in all 5 will get the Fish City Grill $25 gift card. And this one's accurate because I'm looking right at the answer in front of me. It is not a Wikipedia page. It is hard, cold facts. 877-377-6963. Looking through the rushing and Arkansas players, Matt, that have run for over 1,000 yards. The first time it happened, Dickie Morton Jr., or Dickie Morton, who is a junior in 1972, part of 2 years pulling it off. Ben Cowens ran for 1,000 yards 3 in a row. James Rouse ran for 1,087. Madre Hill in 95. Cedric Cobbs in 2003. Fred Talley in 2002. You had DMAC pull it off back-to-back years, 06 and 07. That includes the school record, 1,830 yards in his junior year. Michael Smith ran for 1,000 yards the year after. Niles Davis over 1,300 yards 2010. Alex Collins, Jonathan Williams, Alex Collins, Raleigh Williams. That's 4 years in a row when Bielema was the coach. Rakeem Boyd ran for over 1,100 in 2019, and then Rocket in 2022. That's all of them right there.
You know, you had so many. I mean, I think 2 of those are easy for everybody. If you think Armstrong from last year, everybody will get that one, and then also the kid that can't stay healthy in the pros. But I start looking at some of those Bobby Petrino teams. They had a lot of receivers. You know, if it's Jarius Wright, Joe Adams, Colby Hamilton. I mean, there was a plethora of receivers to get the ball to.
Watch out! Oh, hold on, it's Friday. Clay's not here today. Well done. Next week is plethora week, by the way.
That's there's a bevy. There was a bevy of
abundance.
A lot.
Yeah.
Many. There were many of them.
I won't give any out. I'll ask you afterwards after we find out the top 5.
So we get some of the answers coming in here, and I think did Nate get it right? Kobe Hamilton, Traylon Burks, Jarius Wright, Anthony Lucas, and Andrew Armstrong. I believe that is correct. Those are the right answers.
Kobe Hamilton was one of my favorite receivers to watch. Phil Elson. And then another one that was one of my absolute favorites was Anthony Lucas. He was one of the guys that you were like, oh, that's a real, and he had a knee issue. He would have played on Sundays, but he missed. But just when you see somebody play, and you're like, oh, he's better than everybody. Anthony Lucas was smooth.
The thing about Armstrong last year, which is just so crazy to think about, setting the school record or coming close, 12 receptions away from the school record for receptions, 78. Only one of them, he's in the end zone. That's it. The other seasons, Burks, 11 touchdowns on 1,100 yards. More, you got Kobe Hamilton, 5 touchdowns on 1,300 yards. Jarius Wright, 12 touchdowns on 1,100 yards. And then Anthony Lucas scored 10 times on just over 1,000 yards. It's kind of wild to think about it, too, Matt. 1 touchdown for Andrew Armstrong last year. You'd think to yourself, well, how can you replace the receiving yards from Armstrong? My hope is that you find a way to get receivers into the end zone a little bit more often. Certainly your top receiver, I would expect, be in the end zone more than just one time. So the answer is Armstrong, Burks, Hamilton, Lucas, and Jarius Wright.
I was thinking, I didn't know if Lance Allworth was going to be on that list, but I guess back in the day they didn't throw it as much because he could have been a 1,000-yard receiver.
You know, I look at Allworth, and he led the team in receiving 1 year with 320 yards receiving. It's a different
that's
game,
like Larry
different
Bird
philosophy.
Yeah, that's like in the 80s, like Larry Bird would shoot 2 3-pointers a game.
Right.
You're like, now he'd be shooting 15. You know, the game's just different.
So you're saying it's a record. Yeah, darn right it's a record. Nate in Bentonville is the winner today, Christian. You can get all of his information on the text line. And we'll send him a $25 gift card to Fish City Grill. And again, apologies for screwing up the question from earlier of the brothers to play in the Pro Bowl together. And again, the question was about Pro Bowlers played on the same team together. So I think that'd be a little different than a couple of situations, like the Kelsey brothers. Like they did not play on the same team. They went. They were on opposite sides. All right, 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline here on Halftime. All right, we heard yesterday from Eric Mateos, Arkansas offensive line coach, and here's him on what they've been doing so far in camp, rotating guys on the O-line.
Play, you should get to play. You know, if there's a clear drop-off, then that's when you start questioning. 2015, when last time I was here before I left, those guys didn't come off the field the whole year. And we didn't have any injuries, and God bless us, we were lucky as heck. Denver had to come out of the Tennessee game because his helmet popped off for one play. Johnny Gibson ran in and ran off. And that was it, that whole season. And then I've had seasons where you've had, 10 different combinations of starting lineups, whether it be injuries or maybe somebody's girlfriend breaks up with them on Wednesday and they're practicing like crap. And that other guy's right on his heels. Well, maybe that guy's the guy that goes that week. So I think we have the numbers and the depth to make that a competitive situation. How it's going to play out, we'll see.
The rotation mostly, I think, is on the right side, guard and tackle. And here is him talking about what they're looking at on the right side, specifically at guard.
No. Nobody. I mean, today they all did some awesome stuff, and they all did stuff that pissed me off. So it's probably not the right time to ask me. Maybe ask me like if I'm at Parlor Donuts, like happy. I might tell you, but right now I don't know. We'll see. They're all good players, and they've all played. So they know it's a competition. Everybody in the room knows it's a competition. So it's the guy who can stack the most wins, the most daily wins, and the most days that I think is going to win that job.
Sounds like they didn't have a great practice that day. Who you see starting at right guard? Right now, nobody. Thanks. Great question. Move on to the next one. He's actually kind of entertaining to listen to. I guess some offensive line coaches can be. Here's his answer on guys wearing the braces.
Well, what we do here at Arkansas, our policy is when we're in padded practices, we wear knee braces. Games are optional. So if they want to wear them in games or they don't want to wear them in games, it's up to them. But when we're in padded practices, we wear them. When we're in non-padded, we don't. If you're asking my personal opinion on it, let's not try to light the world on fire. I think of the movie Forrest Gump, okay? You got Forrest, little Forrest. He's got these braces on, right? And he's been told, man, you're slow, stiff walker, right? And then the boys start chasing him, and those knee braces pop off, and he's the fastest thing in Alabama. So that's my belief, as I think they're a little restrictive, and we're already the worst athletes on the field, so I would like to not make that even more so.
Again, just it's entertaining to listen to them. I don't know if they're the worst athletes on the field. They're the biggest, and they've got to do some of the smallest little movements to make the biggest difference. Did you ever view the offensive line, Matt, as the worst athletes on the field?
Well, they're definitely athletes. The thing about the offensive line, Phil, is you have to be smart. They're one of the smartest position groups, if not the smartest, like just collectively talking about a position group. If you're going to be an offensive lineman, usually they're on the honor roll. Usually they're really, really successful. They're sharp. So yeah, if you're an offensive lineman, you're usually one of the smartest guys on the team.
Well, that also takes the ability to, and I know when you're on an 11-man side, you all have to work together, but that's a unit together. Your wide receivers, they're split apart. They're not always right together there. Your offensive linemen are side by side, foot next to foot, and they have to work absolutely together. And Matt, I always hear that the weakest link is basically means the strength of the offensive line. Wherever you're weakest is where you're going to be attacked the most. And calling everything out, noticing the change in coverages up front and where it's all coming from. And I wondered about. Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting when I heard Mateos talking about Corey Robinson, who's the new left tackle from Georgia Tech, who was incredibly highly rated as a pass blocker, but at least the PFF grade showed that he left a little something to be desired in run blocking. And here's Eric Mateos on why they targeted Corey Robinson for left tackle.
So with Corey, it was like, hey, we got to be better on obvious passing down situations. Okay, so not a huge issue on 1st and 10 for us. Not a huge issue on 2nd and 2 for us. It's 3rd and 8. Everybody in the stadium knows it's a passing down. We got to perform. We got to perform. And I thought we were way under the mark last season. We got to be able to win one-on-one battles. When that guy knows his pass, grandma knows his pass, everybody knows his pass, can you win? And so that was the number one priority was, hey, let's go find the best pass blocking tackle we can get. All right, and we'll make him right in the run game. We feel like our run game culture is really good here. Last year we were first in the SEC in rushing efficiency. So we think the run game culture that we have in the room was really solid. We say, hey, we'll take a guy even if he's below whatever standard, but if he can pass block on 3rd and 9, all right, that's going to be who we go after. Corey was our first choice. That's who we went after, and that's who we got.
So explain to me, and I like some of the things he said right there. He's spot on, coach is, as far as that was a weakness last year, that when everybody in the stadium knew we were passing, man, it might as well punt the ball on 3rd down. But tell me this, Phil, you just said in the first hour today that the Hogs were 13th in rushing. How did he just say they were first in the SEC? What stats is he looking at?
Well, the numbers that he's looking at are the overall season numbers, in which, again, this is the sort of thing to me that comes off as, well, that includes your game against UAPB. And that, and look, your season rankings are season rankings, and you can make a stat mean whatever you want it to mean. Matt, where they were 14th in the SEC last year was in running yards per game and yards per carry against winning teams.
There you go.
Yeah, that to me matters.
That does.
That to me matters. A heck of a lot more, honestly, than what happened against UAPB or what happened against Louisiana Tech, or even because these numbers also come from the bowl game against Texas Tech, which didn't have much defense left. I want to see, you're not going to win games averaging 3.5 yards per carry. That was the number against losing teams last year. Now, Matt, that also includes sacks, but it also says a lot about how many sacks they allowed on some of those passing downs that Mateos is talking about against good teams. Think about LSU coming off the edge. Think about Ole Miss getting to tailing. Think about Texas doing the same thing. Those are all rushing yards too, but they really weren't able to establish great running games against those teams. And they're not going to beat them this year if they don't establish a run game against them this time around.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess you can make the stats say, my eyes say that late in the year we didn't play as well. It's the last 4 or 5 games that weren't really our best, but you're going to have to run the ball, and then coach is spot on, man. And this is something we've talked about a lot last year. When everybody in the stadium knows it's 3rd and 7, it's 3rd and 11, it's a passing down, and everybody knows you're passing the ball. You got to be, and we talked about this a little bit with preseason games when you're just really trying to can you whoop your man? Can you win your individual battle? And you're going to have to be, and then you also have to be able to pick up the blitz. When it's 3rd and 8, you might not get man coverage. It might be a zone blitz. You don't know what's. You're going to game plan. You're going to try to get into the right spot, but it's when it's 3rd down in the blitz, the game's just a little bit faster. Once you get into the red zone, the game's just a little bit faster, and you're going to have to be better when everybody knows. Yeah, when everybody knows you're passing, you got to be better.
And you got to be better against the teams that win football games. I appreciate the idea of the ability to run against a lower level opponent, or even against a Mississippi State. Or an Auburn in some cases, but you're going to have to run the ball to beat Texas. You're going to have to force turnovers too, but you're going to need to run the ball after you do it. You got to keep that established against everybody this year. And all the numbers, Matt, and it's different school by school. But when you're a team that consistently will always have a schedule that is going to be one of the toughest in the country, we're going to measure you against how you do against those good teams. 7 games last year against winning teams. Happen to have, I think it's 7 games against ranked opponents from the preseason coaches poll. So run the ball better against those 7 teams. You're probably going to do really good against the other 5 that you play as well. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. We're back in a moment. This is Halftime.
Show me the money.
This is Halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Kind of like, well, what are you going to wear? And I was kind of looked at Clay. I was like, kind of what Clay has on right now.
This is Halftime.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team could give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Taco Bell's new crispy chicken tacos and burritos are so delicious.
Wait, Taco Bell's a chicken place now?
Nope, they're a taco place.
So this crispy chicken taco's from another chicken place.
No, it's from Taco Bell.
But this chicken is all white meat with avocado ranch. Gotta be from a chicken place.
It's coated in crispy tortilla chips. That's Taco Place.
I don't know. It seems like Taco Bell's just a chicken place now.
Well, the crispy chicken also comes in burritos.
What is even real?
Try the new crispy chicken tacos and burritos from Taco Bell. Your taco place, it's also a chicken place, it's also a taco place.
At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time, only while supplies last. Contact card for availability.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You like it when I say your name. If I let it out, I think you will be ashamed. I've been casting spells with no self-control. You better laugh till it was swallowed whole. And I am still and heard it from the others, but not from your mouth. You know I love it when you smile. Everyone's around us, no one.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Saw a nice post that a Razorback fan on Twitter made. Will Carter, it's at Hog Fan Page, had a list of the Razorbacks that are currently in camp or part of a roster in the NFL. 23 of them that he listed, all the way from Hjalte Froholt with Arizona to Hudson Clark with the Raiders. And then he, at the very end of it, asks, hope someone on this list gets a ring this year. I don't think there's been a Razorback to win a Super Bowl since 2019.
Jason Peters.
Well, I think Peters would have been before
Philadelphia.
New England. New England would have beaten, who was it in Super Bowl 53?
Peters was walking out carrying the trophy, so I remember that one. He didn't play because he was hurt, but he was on that team, got hurt a little bit. But
okay.
Yeah, so I know Jason Peters.
So he did get a ring for it. But for all of the, look at the basketball program. Since 2019, you've had 5 Razorbacks win NBA championships. You had Isaiah and Jalen this last year, Jordan Walsh the year before, Moses won one with the Warriors, Bobby Portis with the Bucks. And all in that time since then, yeah, the one guy to win a Super Bowl coming out of Arkansas is Jason Peters, and he was hurt. That's right. So I don't know if anybody actually has the best opportunity here. Out of this, so you got Razorbacks that are playing for Arizona, Denver.
No. Arizona's no.
Denver.
If you're going to say no, they got a young quarter. I'm going to say no still this year for Denver.
That's Greenlaw and Drew Sanders, both inside linebacker. In fact, I think Greenlaw is just ahead of Sanders on the depth chart for Denver. You got a lot of them with Detroit, Matt. You got Jake Bates.
Yes, Detroit could win a Super Bowl.
Dan Skipper. I forgot for a moment that Frank Ragnow retired. So you still have Isaac Tesla, of course, with Detroit. So there's 3 Razorbacks there. Jaguars, Monteric Brown, Cam Little. Rams, Cam Curl, Bo Limmer.
Rams could win a Super Bowl.
Vikings, Dwight McGlothern.
I don't
Probably
think,
not.
I don't think I don't think McCarthy's ready. I think Minnesota has a really, really good roster, like a really, really top end roster. I don't know. I don't think McCarthy's. I'm gonna have to say no.
You think letting Cousins go, knowing you're going to draft McCarthy, and then he gets hurt, and why am I forgetting your
Sam
boy?
Darnold.
That's right, Sam Darnold goes to the Pro Bowl and ends up with a better contract, and they're sticking. Of course, McCarthy's the one guy there now, and I haven't been reading the best things about McCarthy during camp yet. No, so I wouldn't say the Vikings either. The Patriots with Hunter Henry.
No, sorry, Hunter. I like Hunter Henry. He's had a really good, really nice NFL career.
And I like Vrabel too. I just don't think it's going to happen in 1 year. What else? There's Jeremiah Ledbetter with the Giants.
Nope.
Not going to be this year. Not the Giants. Dietrich Wise is with the Commanders. That's they got close last year.
Such a tough division right there. I still taking Philly in that division. Yeah, Phil, Washington could. Yeah, Washington's talented enough. They could be up there.
Brandon Allen backing up with Tennessee. Not going to happen this year. Hey, Allen may end up being the guy if Cam Ward gets hurt. Then Brandon is the guy as the quarterback for Tennessee this year. I didn't know Ridgeway was still in the NFL. And it was with Washington previously. John Ridgway's with the Saints.
Nope.
Not going to happen this year.
Nope.
Felipe Franks, Falcons.
Nope.
No, sir. Dalton Wagner, Raiders.
Nope.
Not going to happen. Antonio Greer, Buccaneers. Don't think so. They may be a division champion potentially.
Have y'all said Cam Curl yet?
Yeah, Curl's with the Rams.
Yeah.
Rams have a chance. Rams could win a Super Bowl.
Armstrong's with Miami. No.
If Miami gets a little tougher, and I think that's what they've tried to do, this could be a year for Miami. Like if you're saying the Redskins can win one, then is Tua. You're right. Miami's not going to win.
What about Landon Jackson and the Buffalo Bills?
Bills have a chance.
Bills have a shot.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Jackson's going to be playing this year.
Yeah, he gives them an edge, I think. Like, he gives them a boost to that defense. They're already good on defense, but you need somebody who can get to Mahomes, and he may be the guy.
If there's one guy on this list that I'm going to pick to go to a Super Bowl, maybe win a Super Bowl, now I know you still have to get past Baltimore and you still have to get past Kansas City and maybe a few other teams this year too, but I'd go Landon Jackson and the Buffalo Bills, Matt.
So far, out of all everything you've said, then I think Buffalo, the Detroit Lions, the Redskins, the Dolphins. That would probably be the four so far that you got going.
Will also still had Burks on the list with Tennessee. He just said, I know he's been released, but I refuse to believe that he's not going to play somewhere. Yeah. Just they put him on waivers, so it's not going to be with Tennessee.
He's got to pass a physical, man.
That's the other thing. Is it a collarbone injury now?
I hate it. Well, it's a collective. They're going to look at every single injury you've had the last 4 years. Put you ACL,
ACL,
under the microscope.
ACL
I just wonder.
That was before he came into college. And then there was it a knee injury? Was it an ankle injury? The first year in Tennessee, but you're right. He's never been able to stay healthy. So, wow, that's too bad. So it isn't 23; it's 22. But we're hoping there's 23. It's just I don't see Traylon getting on a roster this year because that injury happened, I think, just as camp opened. Yeah, Hacker and Harrison. Here's
the Rams.
list.
The Rams would be on the list too. Yeah.
So my list would be if I'm going, I'll go Bills 1, Lions 2. And Commanders 3 is where I would go. Just on the guys, just on the teams that have Razorbacks on the roster.
Bills, Lions, Rams, Commanders. That's a good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that one could work pretty well. Hacker and Harrison. Here's the list, and he notices Bielema put a lot of kids in the.
Did Jake Beckett get a ring NFL. with the Patriots? Was he
did. I think he did as a practice squatter. Okay. But you still get one, man.
It's kind of like one. Jordan Walsh's ring. Like he was there, but he wasn't playing.
Just like Isaiah and Jalen, and even in the finals at times.
Bobby Portis had the most impact in winning a ring out of that group. Yeah,
that's right. I know Trey Flowers had an impact when New England won that Super Bowl in 2019. Certainly. But yeah, I mean, it's a list. It's a list of guys who have a ring. Doesn't necessarily say how much impact they had. But hey, if you're up on the stage in the celebration and you get to ride in one of the floats for the parade, and you get the ring, and you get to take the trophy with you somewhere for a day, like Jalen and Isaiah had a chance to do, it doesn't matter how much you did in the finals or not. You're a champion. Nobody can take that away from you. Jake, yeah, TC, you mentioned Jake Bates with Detroit. Bates would be one of the reasons, actually. If you think of that big leg and that and the accuracy, Jake Bates is a reason why Detroit is a team to believe in, just in the idea that if they're looking for three, they ain't gonna miss too often. And Nate, who also won the Fish City Grill trivia question, is a Vikings lifer and doesn't think J.J. McCarthy is going to be ready this year.
The beauty of that Minnesota team is there's talent everywhere. I mean, there's absolutely talent. Justin Jefferson and Addison. I mean, you got places to go with the ball. There's talent on defense. So you don't have to try to be something you're not. You don't have to try to play above yourself. You just want to be kind of like what Bo Nix was last year at Denver. You just want to kind of. And every quarterback's a game manager, but you just want to get them in the right play and make the throws you're supposed to make. You don't have to try to press because you do that. I mean, that Minnesota roster, top 10, just top to bottom as far as talent. That's a top 10 roster in the NFL.
So there's something you said earlier too, and thinking about like some of the champions, some of the college football champions in recent years. And what quarterback led them to that championship? Like Will Howard, 6th round pick as a national champion. Stetson Bennett. I don't even know if Bennett was selected in the draft. I don't remember.
He's a walk-on.
Yeah, he can't. He's not.
Right. I mean, it took him not took him, but was part of a major part of 2 national championships. And then there's McCarthy's the only one in recent years, really in the last, I think, 3 or 4, who's won a title and is a first-round pick and expected to be, it's not a franchise savior because it's not like Minnesota was bottom of the barrel or anything, but, I mean, they cleared the decks for him. They cleared the decks with a good, successful, proven Pro Bowl caliber pocket quarterback in Cousins, who seemed to have a good thing going there, and then all of a sudden Sam Darnold looks like, the guy that you thought he might be coming out of USC. They clear the decks for him for somebody who's never thrown a pass in the NFL.
I'm not taking the Vikings over the Packers or the Lions. That's even in their own division, So and the Bears, yeah, probably. I mean, if you're believing in Caleb Williams and that they got something going there, but if you're talking about Jordan Love, with the Packers, Jared Goff and the Lions and that roster, yeah, Vikings are tough, but man. That's they gotta. If you were to 2 of those teams make the playoffs, I'd go Packers and Lions. I don't even know that the Vikings would make the playoffs.
We got to take a quick break. We'll be back. Wrap up hour number 2 of Halftime in a moment.
I'll be back. This is Halftime.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Breakdown. I'm overworking till the sundown. Don't see the light inside my head now. I need to see you in my window. In a whisper, all I really want is you. What would you do? Lying in the rain with you. June, all I really want is you. What would you do? Sleeping outside the moon.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback Baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Talking about championship rings, BE says some of the rings are bigger than a lug nut on a big rig. You got that right. Did you see the Eagles rings for last year's Super Bowl, Matt?
I think they made it so you could eat the chunky soup out of it as well. Like it's, hey, pour your bowl of soup in there.
I have a feeling though, if they would have won that Super Bowl that McNabb played in, there would have had to be a chunky soup logo at least on his ring. It was probably in the contract. No, the Eagles this year they had these I don't know how you make this with a ring, but they had gold pieces that were gold wings that extended out from the ring, but you had to activate it. So it was like almost like a Get Smart sort of a ring, or like it felt like it was a 007 kind of a Super Bowl ring. Because I'd never seen a ring that actually had moving parts before. I do remember the Marlins championship ring in 2003, because Jeffrey Oloria was their owner then, and he was an art dealer. So of course he had to have
some of those
he had to have
rings.
jewelry like an art. So he had rings that fit over the entire ring finger. You couldn't even bend your finger. It'd be perfect for brass knuckles.
Yeah, some of those rings they do open up. Like when you think about the Tampa Bay ring, and then there was another one I saw that it's like the Rams, that the Rams ring, it kind of screws off and you see like the stadium or something. They're out of control.
Now, I think you're a little bit like me, Matt. Like you don't. I'm not a jewelry guy. I don't. The only thing I'm wearing is an Apple Watch, and it doesn't even feel like I'm wearing anything. Although I don't like heavy watches. I don't like rings on my finger. I haven't worn a necklace in probably 10 or 11 years. But Hogs win a College World Series. I'll wear that ring around town. You got to have something that pops in order to put it on. But I would only wear it like maybe once around town because it would just feel a little bit, I don't know, it would feel like a little bit much to be wearing that all the time.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ring, it opens up.
It does, okay.
Yeah.
Opens up into a ship. Was it a pirate ship?
It's their stadium on the inside.
Oh, cool. Well, it's a chance to design some fun stuff. Yeah, something as big as a lug nut on a big rig. That's right. Nate does not believe the Packers are going to beat the Vikings this year. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about who I like at the quarterback. I like the quarterback better, Jordan Love, better than McCarthy. That doesn't mean McCarthy might not set the world on fire. He might. We see young quarterbacks every year, Phil. Every single year, there's going to be a young quarterback that's like, whoa, and he starts off doing his thing. But I think Jordan Love. If you're to, make me list my top 10 quarterbacks, I think Jordan Love, I'd have him like 5. I think that dude, he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Third hour halftime on a Friday coming up. It's the golden hour. Over the next 60 minutes, we'll also talk with Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen. 877-377-6963. Want to get with us? Calls or texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Last hour of the week coming up after this.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Like life, vacations don't always go as planned. If your summer getaway turned into a summer towaway, don't hire an attorney you don't know from a state you'll never go back to. Hire me, Jackie Mock. I'm licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, but I can process rec checks no matter where you crashed. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, a rec check sounds nice.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Looking for a roofing company you can trust? Meet Three Ladies in a Roof. We're locally owned, certified, insured, and bonded roofing company. Three Ladies in a Roof can handle everything from start to finish with honesty, quality, and integrity. A hard-working company that knows roofing. Go with the crew that gets it done right. Three Ladies in a Roof stands behind their roof so you can stand under it. Call 501-658-3193. Three Ladies in a Roof, helping you with all your roofing needs. Ready to serve the River Valley.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we should see plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon are going to soar all the way into the upper 90s. Later on tonight, a mainly clear sky, overnight lows in the middle 70s. And then on Saturday, lots of sunshine, a high into the mid 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 22 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
That ain't but one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back on halftime. It's our third hour. It's the last hour of the week. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Christian Johnston producing. Neil Atkinson, Bet Saracen about 15 minutes from now. You got any betting questions specifically for the Bet Saracen app? You can text them in now on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. I was just looking at the headlines here, Matt, and Brian Kelly earlier this afternoon admits that Garrett Nussmeier has aggravated patellar tendonitis that he's been dealing with in his knee. Says he's not going to be missing any significant time, but it's August the 8th. You don't have a game for about 3 weeks, but one of the guys with the highest expectations in the SEC and across the country, and Garrett Nussmeier, never like to hear about patellar tendonitis at any time of the year. Right now is a tough time for that.
Yeah, you just have to get treatment, be diligent. That's really that's nothing that's going to, that doesn't really hinder you too much. It's uncomfortable, but he's fine. That's kind of the best news you can say when you're talking about a knee injury. It's like patella tendonitis. Oh, okay, we'll figure that out.
Just something you have to deal with. Right?
Yeah.
You pop a pill or two before the game, something like that.
Just no smelling salts.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to supply his own if he's in the NFL. I think there's been a run on the smelling salts industry in the last day, coming from NFL players specifically. If you missed out on that, the NFL said that players will have to start supplying their own smelling salts. You're going to have to supply your own Gatorade next. Bring in your favorite sports drink. If they don't have the one that you want.
Soda money, David Justice in Moneyball. Soda money. I don't want them paying for soda anymore.
Movie was on again 3 days ago, and I have trouble not turning it on, even if it's on one of the channels that has commercials.
It edits it a little bit. It's like playing first base is easy. Tell them how easy it is. No, it's extremely difficult.
And then they stop and a commercial goes on. Why am I doing this? I could just rent the thing and put it on. Introduced the boy yesterday to, he said it was his second ever Robin Williams movie. It was, he's seen Night at the Museum. Last night we put on Good Morning Vietnam, which I thought he wanted to see it a while back because he would all of a sudden because everybody knows Good Morning Vietnam. He did that a couple times. Do you even know what this comes from? You know who Robin Williams is. So we put it on. It's still a great movie. So he hasn't seen enough Robin Williams.
You got to watch Hook.
Yes. If we're going kids movies, yes.
Yeah, that's at that age, man. That's Rufio.
I watched Good Morning Vietnam at the age of 13. That came out when I was 10. I saw it when I was 13. That's his age too. He hasn't really learned much at all about the Vietnam War. That was just kind of like drilled into our heads as kids growing up in the 80s and the 90s because that was fresh in everybody's mind. So it was a good thing to learn about. We'll have to get him into a football movie with Robin Williams, The Best of Times, where he plays the wide receiver that dropped the big pass in high school, and then the team gets together again, I think it was 20 or 30 years later, and they play a game against their same rivals. So, yeah, we'll get a little bit more with that in him. You need to get your Robin Williams stuff out there. And then he still hasn't seen Good Will Hunting, so sometimes I think I'm doing a good job as a parent, and then other times not so much. Colby Smith was in front of the cameras today, and so were Braylon Russell and Mike Washington together, side by side. So, keep hearing good things about Russell, even though I didn't see him on the practice report from a couple days ago, but he's in front of the cameras. Everything's fine. Here's something you like to hear. You won't hear it, but Colby Smith reported that in yesterday's practice that the first touchdown was scored by Washington, and it was a 50-yarder. I love the idea of not just breaking tackles to the line of scrimmage, but taking that thing to the house. And, man, the more they talk about Washington, the more I think he's going to get the bulk of the carries. But they're putting him up there with Braylon Russell side by side. This is a bruising group of running backs, too. I love what Russell showed last year. I have a sense that, I don't know what kind of target you'd look for in terms of carries per game. You know that the score of the game, the style of the game will dictate that. But let's just say 30 carries. If you're given 30, 35 carries per game, how do you want this doled out? Because I think with Russell, my guess, Matt, is it's going to be around 10 to 12 carries. I think Washington may end up getting somewhere in the 15 to 17 range, and then there's Taylon Green. And, we don't know how many times there'll be designed runs for him or how often he's just got to improvise. But I do, you don't want Taylon running it more than anybody else. I think Washington's going to be the guy that does that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it unfolds. I think you need a stable of backs. It's such a bruising position, a car collision. You see these running backs after games, they got ice on their shoulder, ice on their knees. They got to go get in the cold. It really is. You got to have a couple guys that can go. And then in the second half, I know you talk about the Tennessee game as far as Braylon Russell, that was his best work, but the defensive guys get a little tired, man. They've already hit a little bit. They don't want to hit as much in the fourth quarter, and especially when you got a load like that coming. So I could see it being maybe Washington's what you give them a dose of first, and then when they're kind of getting wore down, you bring in a fresh Braylon Russell, and you try to arm tackle him in the quads, he's going to run right through you.
So I was looking at Washington from last year, and so Mike Washington played his first 3 years of college ball in Buffalo, New York, freshman and a redshirt freshman year, and then a sophomore and a junior year. He ran for 625 yards, about 4.2 yards per carry his second year, and he was more of their featured back. Last year, he split the carries at New Mexico State. 157 carries, which was most on the team, but they had another running back that carried it only 5 times fewer. So I don't know, because you have somebody here who's not carried the ball more than 157 times in a season. And I'll look through Washington's career here just for attempts per game. The most he's carried the ball in a game is 26. And that was the regular season finale last year against UTEP. Otherwise, he's been 15, 13, 15, 18 carries per game. Who knows? He's young and athletic, and I'm sure he'd love to get the ball 20, 22 times per game. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I think Russell's going to get about 10. I could see you could get Washington in the 15 range, and then the rest is, I wouldn't say the rest is Taylon Green, because I still really like A.J. Green. And, you got a couple of freshmen that I think we'll see early in the season, and probably not much after that. And then there was a point that one of our listeners had texted in about earlier about, those 1,000-yard seasons for receivers, which has only happened 5 times in Arkansas history, and wondered who the quarterbacks were, because that's got to have a lot to do with it. So, the first Razorback to receive over 1,000 yards in 1 year is Anthony Lucas, and it was Sterner. Yeah. Then there's Jarius Wright in 2011. The next year, Kobe Hamilton, 1,335. I think that was, would that have been Mallett or Tyler?
Oh yeah, I guess you kind of. Then you had the Allen brothers that one of the Allens with KJ Jefferson was Burks, huh?
Burks in 2021, and then last year with Armstrong. So it's only happened 5 times. The returning quarterback is one of the quarterbacks who has found a receiver for over 1,000 yards in 1 year.
Well, and three times your offensive coordinator has been Bobby Petrino too. So if you think about it that way.
Absolutely. The thing with Petrino, though, is you haven't had the 1,000-yard rusher yet. And I'm looking through. There has not been a season where Arkansas has had a 1,000-yard rusher and a 1,000-yard receiver. A lot of these seasons are 11 games, but, even in the 12-game era, and if you played a bowl game and you got 13, you don't find anything like that. So I would expect this is also not a season where that happens for the first time ever.
Hey, we got a phone caller. I didn't know if you saw that, Phil. Okay.
Here's Ken. I'll go to Ken and Pear. Ken, what's going on? How you doing today?
Doing great. First time I've got the chance to call you guys. I usually don't get off work till 3 o'clock, so I got Ruskin and Zach. But anyway, I appreciate all y'all's info talking about the running backs and all the possibilities. I think if our offensive line is shored up a little bit, where we're a little bit more consistent there, hopefully we'll have a pretty decent year. What do you guys think? How's the offensive line, though? Do you have any clue on that?
Ken, that's what it's all going to come down to. We heard a lot from the offensive line coach, Eric Mateos, yesterday. And, the feeling 2 years ago, that was just a bad offensive line. It's just you couldn't pass block, you couldn't run block, and Swiss cheese. Last year, bit of an improvement. Pass blocking left a lot to be desired. And so, you got one of the better pass blockers in the country at left tackle now in Corey Robinson. You see if that translates from Georgia Tech and the ACC to the SEC. UCF, they had some. It's interesting, too, because you had Caden Kittler snapping the ball to KJ Jefferson last year until they benched him. Now he's at Arkansas. And, I don't think offensively UCF was great last year, but I know they really do like what they have from Kittler. The thing is, you move your best offensive lineman from last year to a different position, moving Carmona from tackle to guard, and the questions are on the right side. Now, I know they like Kobe Branham at guard, but, Mateos yesterday said nobody played well, so he didn't even throw anybody out there, so he could be a potential starter. And, right tackle, is it going to be Shaq McCroy? Is it going to be Keyshawn Blackstock? I think Blackstock plays more on the inside, or Marion Harris. So there's more question marks, but I'd say I think that there's going to be an uptick in play on the offensive line, Ken. I think you could throw quite a bit of the issues offensively for Arkansas last year on the problems up front, specifically with pass blocking. Just a lot of guys coming off the edge, just completely untouched. So, yeah, it'll be an improvement. Just I think how much of an improvement is part of the question. And the other thing about this, too, Ken, is you improve from last year, but you're still facing an incredibly tough schedule. So does that improvement lead to, a little bit extra against Missouri, or, maybe a little bit better pass blocking against LSU, and you don't have somebody coming off the side and recording an interception at the 1-yard line? See how all that works. But appreciate your phone call, Ken. Thanks very much.
Oh.
Sounds like Ken was having a little issue with the phone, but it's good to hear from you. And he got out a little bit early, so his Friday started a little bit earlier than most. Well done. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Back in a moment, we'll have Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen. Stay with us.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappy.
Nice spec.
We got puppies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box. Now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with MyBookie.
Save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's all the same. I wake up, I go to work, and I try my best to just forget about everything.
Listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Got the Bet Saracen app on your phone like I do. It's Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. You can use it on your iPhone. Just download from the App Store. If you got an Android phone, Google Play's got it as well. BetSaracen.com, all the web browsers. Make sure you're within the state borders to use Bet Saracen. And we go right to the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen is joining us here. Happy Friday, Neil. Got a lot of sports coming up this weekend. Got NFL preseason yesterday, today, tomorrow. We're still a little bit away from the actual games that matter, but when it comes to preseason, hey, you got betting lines, so people are interested in those.
Yeah, and what I saw was interesting last night. The number one most bet market was the Seahawks and the Raiders, and then you had, of course, the Eagles and the Bengals and the Ravens and the Colts. And I'm looking. I had more baseball games with more volume on those two football games, individual baseball games, although the Seahawks and the Raiders game had the most volume of any market that we had yesterday. But, baseball's still right there in the attention. And frankly, you should not be betting a lot on a preseason game. Yeah. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but, most sports bettors will just kind of do it to make it a little bit more interesting. And it was really interesting. All the favorites, against the spread last night did not cover. And then, of course, we had that game ending up in a tie. So, the money lines went back on all of that. But, you have all of this analysis, how they're going to script the games, and none of the starters are going to be playing. And then yet the team that has a name recognition still wins. And, this preseason's hard to predict, and I just hope the regular seasons is hard to predict because they tore us up on the NFL last year. But
when you know who's playing, when you know who the starters are going to be, and there's more data to go by, I guess I don't know how to put it in terms of is it easier to set the lines, but when it comes to preseason NFL, I guess do you do exhibition games for baseball as well? It's like the same idea. You just don't know how long the real guys are going to be out there.
Yep, and believe it's just crazy the action that we have on spring training games because if you read up, that they're trying to get certain looks at certain players that they've inquired or are coming back from an injury, and then in the preseason you got the drafted players and the acquired players trying to make the team as they pare down the rosters each week, and you think you can get a line on it, but hey, when it goes on the field, anything that can happen, and it's just interesting. I thank goodness we don't do props and other traditional markets that we're going to have once the regular season starts in there because. It's just amazing. But hey, you look the Hall of Fame game. That one game right there, Hall of Fame exhibition game, had more viewers than all of the NBA finals games. So that tells you how in tune we are to football as a country.
Yeah, and on the app here, there are season specials for every single NFL team right now. Of course, you'll have the Arkansas specials tab, and you've added some more things to that. So I just love that the preseason is always a very exciting time because it's not about the games for the sports bettor. It's about how you're laying your things out for the regular season. And man, I love the idea of just 32 sets of specials for the 32 teams in the NFL, and there's a lot to cover there.
Yeah, we're really, really proud of our futures this year. Just not just on the NFL, but also on the college. And if you see all of the content that we have once the NFL starts, we hope you notice the difference. And a couple of housekeeping things. Next Thursday morning, the site's going to be offline at 3 a.m. in the morning and for about 4, maybe 5 hours. Bet Saracen's, now over 3 years old, and these servers and these hardwares only have certain lifespans, and some of our servers are going to go into life in January, but we don't want to be switching over servers in January when the playoffs are going on, both for college and the NFL and SEC conference play starts. So we're going to go ahead and replace those servers next week. So brand new stuff there. And then the following Tuesday, we're going to be offline early in the morning Maybe we might do it Monday morning. We'll decide that next week. And that's going to be the big software upgrade where we go to official NFL data, enhanced markets for both college and a lot of things coming down the line, and a few other feature enhancements, like the Survivor Series. We're going to be doing a Survivor Series too. Be on the lookout for that. As soon as the rules get approved, we'll get them up and done. But it's basically, if you've ever heard of the Circa Survivor Series, it's basically a very similar format. You pick a team each week to win. Once you pick that team once, you can't pick them again in the regular season. And if that team loses, you're out. So it's basically a last man standing takes the entire prize pool. And of course, if there's a tie at the end, they'll split it up. But we're going to have nice little price point entries. It looks like we're going to have I want everybody to have access to it. And we're going to have one just for fun where it's $1 entry, $1 for the whole season, that you can enter. And then we're going to have some higher price points for people that want to gamble and be a little bit more competitive at it. But I just wanted to have access to everybody on that Survivor Series. And, hey, if you got skin in the game, you'll come to my app every week to make your picks. And, hey, you might make another wagering transaction. So, it's not all bad. But a lot of exciting things coming up, and with football season coming up. And I'm proud to be able to get all this out before the season this year for the most part.
Neil, tell me about the brand new promo that I see is running alongside the No Strings Attached for this month. This is a 100% profit boost, which I'm told sounds exactly what's it like. How do users get involved with the 100% profit boost?
Well, the beautiful thing about this promo is you got a choice of 2 welcome offers now, okay? 2 new player offers, and these both are eligible for brand new players only, okay? So we've got the traditional that we've been running since last February, where you bet $25, and once it settles, you'll get $125 and free bets, 5 $25 bets. The boosted one is that if you choose the boosted, you can make up to a $25 wager. And most people would probably save these for, plus 200, plus 300, plus 400s, or you can even do it in a parlay. And if it wins, whatever you would have won, we're just going to double it. Simple as that. But you got to choose which code you use when you sign up. So if you want to do the bet 25 to get 125, you put the code WELCOME in there. And if you want to use that boosted, the 100% profit boost, when you sign up, make sure you use the code BOOSTED, BOOSTED. And you can go to our site and look under our promotions and decide which one is best for you. The boosted one can give you a little bit more return, but it's a little bit harder and a little bit more risky. And probably the more one where you get a little bit more play, if that's the way you want to do it, is bet 25 and get 125. And you can make some extra funds on that as a welcome offer. But we haven't left out the current users either. We've got 3 great ones up right now. We got a 30% no sweat bet, where you can, if you make a bet and you opt in on that one, and if your bet loses, you'll get a 30% stake back of what you bet. So if you bet $20, you'll get $9 back. So if it loses, if it wins, of course you get the wins. The other 2 you want to look at, because we've only got a couple of weeks, is the NFL championship protection and the SEC championship protection. The NFL is you can make a bet, and if it loses to win the Super Bowl, as long as your team makes it past the wild card round, we'll give you 100% of your stake back, up to $50 in bonus cash. So that was a great one. And then the SEC is in the regular season, whoever you bet to win the SEC championship, as long as they finish in the top 5, you'll get 100% of your stake back, up to $50 in bonus play too. So those are some things that you can do, make some speculations, and maybe they don't win, but at least you'll get another shot at it with some free play with your stake. So we're heavily promoted up, getting ready for football season, and we're glad that we're able to do this.
Make sure you get over to BetSaracen.com. If you don't have the app, you can download it from the App Store for your iPhone, Android users, Google Play, where you download Bet Saracen as well. Neil, we'll leave it there. We'll visit again next week and be just a little bit closer to that football being tossed around. Thanks a lot.
2 weeks from tomorrow, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And And like I said, don't wait until right before kickoff in 2 weeks to download the app. You want to download that so you can take care of your welcome offer, get opted into all your promos, and have a little fun. And just 2 weeks away from real college football. And in the meantime, we got our baseball, WNBA, got the a lot of golf this weekend. There's 4 different tournaments you can choose from. So have fun with that. And it's almost here, folks.
You got it. It's Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen. It's the home stretch of the golden hour. We got a little more to get to. Stay with us. Halftime returns after this break.
This is Halftime.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
At the toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality, price, and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear, and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Come in and enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this plus a drink for only $8.99. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
Check out their Facebook page for a family fun giveaway through August 21st.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, it's disappear. Words once so clear, only echoes passing through the night. Lines on my face, your fingers once traced, fading reflection of what was.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Here's running back coach Colby Smith at today's presser about the running backs he expects to get some carries.
Probably three in a given game because of all the different situations that can come up during the game. And, you know, we design plays. We got to get it to plays for certain players. You know, we want Braylon in this situation. We would rather have Mike in this situation. And then sometimes we want to have Rodney in the situation. So it all depends on the situation. But as we see it now, we see those three guys really getting to work in the games, and then we need AJ to come along, and we need Settles to come along as well, because you never know. Probably three.
That's Colby Smith earlier today. So no surprise here, just based on the guys that you saw last year with Russell and Hill, and then Mike Washington coming in and all the talk about him. And that was today, hearing from Colby Smith and also Braylon Russell and Mike Washington. So should have some sound bites from those guys for Monday's show. You'll hear from Pittman and some of the players after tomorrow's closed scrimmage. Sunday's an off day, and then they're into the rhythm of the season, Matt. Then it's into Sunday off day, 5 days of practice, scrimmage on a Saturday, off day Sunday, practice throughout the week, off day Sunday, 5-day practices, and then the season opens. Before you know it, it's going to be here. Before you know it.
22 days.
Got that right? All right. It is the golden hour, and so there are other things to get to at the same time here. I only bring this up because it's an opportunity to hear two of the funniest people in their industries at the time that they were doing this together do something together. August 8th, 1988 was supposed to be the first ever night game at Wrigley Field, which felt like a step too far for some Cubs fans, including even Bill Murray. That game did not get played until the next day because of a rainout, and I think the more famous thing that happened was the tarp slide that you had Greg Maddux go through the tarp slide along with Jody Davis, one of the catchers, Al Nippert, and former Razorback Les Lancaster, who was a relief pitcher for the Cubs that year, went tarp sliding and got fined for it. And then there was the WGN telecast in which they had to kill some time with Harry Carey and Bill Murray together.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey at Wrigley Field on this noteworthy night indeed. 8/8/88. That's the date. And this but's for you, Bill Murray.
I'm dying under these lights until you handed me this thing.
It's such a pleasure to see you, especially on a noteworthy event like this one.
Well, I don't know how I feel about night baseball. It's great in the minor leagues, but it's someplace else to go in town besides your restaurant, which is a good thing.
You know, how's your mother, by the way?
My mother is, she's off her booze, pretty, but she's doing really well. She's doing great.
That bit you put on when I was sick and you were on and did such a great job, the bit you did about your mother, among other things, I think it should be a special cassette. You ought to sell about 10 million of them.
Well, I've got 200,000 of my own, which I'm willing to unload for some sort of a price. But my mother really wants too big a percentage, so I'm keeping them in the garage right now at home.
Have you thought about broadcasting baseball as something after you're tired of being a great star of movies, stage, television, screen, whatever you have?
I think when I completely lose my mind here, I'm going to step right up into your spot here in the booth.
There's no doubt about you being a true Cub fan, is there?
Well, I went with the blue and white tonight, figuring I could look like the ground crew in case I got thrown out, I could get back in. It's really beautiful. It's the most beautiful park in the world, and it's pretty under the lights too. That's what I was hoping.
Tell me, Joe, where are you making your own now? In Hollywood or in New York?
Well, I'm making it in New York.
What's happening in your career? Anything new?
Well, I made a movie called Scrooge. It's going to come out. Scrooge.
I bet you got to be Scrooge.
Yes, that's right.
And I would imagine that's hilariously funny.
You have a vivid imagination, Harry. You really do. It better be funny. There's going to be big trouble for me. Yeah.
Bill, good to see you. Stick around for a little while. I know it's warm up here. Bill Murray, a priceless guy. Don't go away now, because we're going to be back with the first night baseball game ever played at Wrigley Field. Coming up in a moment.
Actually, that was the next day that it happened. I love hearing Harry Caray's voice. And I don't know many celebrities that really do love baseball the way that Bill Murray loved baseball. He talks about the minor leagues, and he used to be part owner of some minor league teams. I worked for one of those teams, and the guy who I worked for, he was an intern for a team that Murray was part owner for 20 years before, and told the story of picking Bill Murray up at the airport. This would have been, I think, somewhere in Montana. Picking Bill Murray up at the airport. They go to the luggage area to pick up his luggage at the baggage claim, and down amongst all the luggage comes a garbage bag that was taped up by duct tape. Bill Murray walks right up to it, grabs it, slings it over his shoulder, and tells the guy who I worked for, he says, "Let's go." That's how Bill Murray traveled about circa 1987, 1988. Maybe he had his clothes in a garbage bag downtown in the north side of Chicago for that game there, too. It would have been cool to go to. It actually might have been cooler to go to the rain out than actually go to the first night game at Wrigley to see the tarp slides and to be part of something that actually didn't happen.
You know, you think of Jack Nicholson, fan of the L.A. Lakers, Jerry Seinfeld, fan. Yeah, there you go, unit. Spike Lee, fan of the Knicks. I was trying to see who, but those are, you would put Bill Murray. I don't know who their most famous fan is, but you think Cubs, Bill Murray, just like Lakers and Jack and Jerry in the Mets.
Eddie Vedder's a big Cubs fan. It's probably a guarantee. I know he has done Take Me Out to the Ball Game more than once. Probably does Take Me Out to the Ball Game the exact same way that he would sing Jeremy. Take me out to the ball game. Just very guttural. Be your favorite version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, too. Yeah, Michael Keaton's all about the Pittsburgh teams. I don't know what who Murray's teams are in terms of like football or college sports or anything. I just always associated him with the Chicago Cubs. And if there's another guy I'd like to get sitting next to Carey at some point, which I don't think ever happened, would be Will Ferrell, because that's the guy whose impression turned into everybody else's impression of Harry Carey.
I think Will Ferrell owns part of LAFC.
No kidding. Big soccer fan too, huh? I had no idea about that.
Part of that, yeah.
8888. That's right, VE. A day that I guess lives in infamy. There are a lot of Cubs fans that were ticked off that they even did that. But they had the All-Star game the next year. They had to have lights if they were going to host the All-Star game. So that must have been a reason why they pulled it off. I can't even imagine. Can you imagine now a spot where you can't play a night game? Like in college football, is there a stadium that doesn't have lights?
Yeah, the Razorback Stadium. We don't have night games up there.
We got lights, not enough night games though, huh?
War Memorial.
Well, War Memorial's got lights. In fact, I mean, they got lights before Razorback Stadium got lights in Little Rock. I was checking, do we have night games?
I wonder if they still work.
Do we have any? I forgot about if we have any night games this year. Yeah, the Missouri game will at least be a night game, so we'll have to be able to turn on the lights for that one. You might have a night game for A&M, but it depends. It's a flex game. Flex. So that means if Arkansas, pulls off an upset against Ole Miss or Notre Dame or Tennessee, you might get a night game against A&M. And the lights were. What was the first night game at Razorback Stadium? Who can tell me that? That could have been the trivia question today for Fish City Grill if I couldn't have messed it up. Who was the first opponent for a night game at Razorback Stadium? Because I don't think they got lights until, what was it, 86?
I'm just going to say Baylor.
87? You're gonna just take a guess into the Southwest Conference, right? Yeah, who was the first opponent for Arkansas in a night football game? Or just the first time they ever turned on the lights? It must have had a novelty feel. And I remember they made a big deal of turning on the lights at Wrigley Field, but it was only to see the rain. It was only to see the tarp, and then those guys tarp sliding, which I did once as an intern for a team when I was 18 years old, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody be more upset at me than the grounds guy, than the guy who ran the grounds crew. Because if you want to ruin a field, I mean, one way to do it is tarp sliding. But, man, that's a lot of fun. Just don't slide over the mound. And make sure you don't slide over the base, because that hurts. And sliding over the mound is pretty much impossible. You're not even going to get halfway up the thing. Oh, we got an answer here. Ellis and Harrison. Seaburger, you were right. He said this. Ellis says it was Baylor, 1989, a 19-10 win. And then JT reminds us those were temporary lights. Did you know the answer to this question when you gave the answer,
I've heard
Seaburger?
it before. But it's, I retain certain things that I have no business retaining. When it comes to movies, I kind of forget. But, when it comes to sports facts, weird facts, sometimes I'll remember.
Were
there
there
would have
any?
been Quinn Grovey, 89?
I think so. That's right. I mean, heck, like George Cole Field George Cole Field, the baseball field had lights before the football stadium did. But those lights were paid for by... the oddity of this, I think Les Lancaster helped pay for those lights. Johnny Ray, Kevin McReynolds, Tim Lawler, and I think Lancaster may have helped chip in for those lights at old George Cole Field. If you could just imagine seeing the baseball field and the football stadium that were practically side by side then, didn't have lights. In fact, Wrigley Field got lights before Razorback Stadium got lights. That's a little difficult to think about. I can't imagine in today's day and age where every single game is televised. Back then, hardly any games were televised. You were still in the throes of the NCAA trying to control the television schedule, and it was just a few years before this that the Supreme Court blew that out of the water. Yeah, you didn't have every game on television then, and you have to have lights now to have TV, and you have to have TV to have college football. Yeah. Night games, well, it's not necessarily just night games, just to turn the thing on. We got a break here on halftime. Wrap things up in a moment. Have you checked out Rowback.com yet? Still my favorite place to go right now for fresh polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and more. You find them in the American Summer Collection at Rowback.com. Rowback also has specially licensed apparel featuring the Razorbacks. You find a great Baum-Walker Stadium shirt there. There's about 6 of them to choose from at Rowback.com. You can get 20% off your first order, entering the code RUSH25 at checkout, RHOBACK.com. Rowback.com. Rowback, where action meets comforts. Back in a moment, wrap up the week, wrap up the show on halftime.
There it is. This is halftime.
Protect what matters most with the Fence Man. From heavy-duty security fencing to powered automatic gates, the Fence Man's got Fort Smith covered. The Fence Man has served the Fort Smith area for over 40 years. Custom built and built to last. Free quotes, financing for 18 months. When it comes to security fencing, nobody builds it better than the Fence Man. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Forest Grid Incorporated, a company known for paying top wages and benefits, has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. For nearly 90 years, Forest Grid has built the foundations of the River Valley, and now you can become a part of that legacy. Apply now from any device at GoForestGrid.com. That's GoForestGrid.com. Do you finally want to get paid well for your work? Do you want to work for a company that treats you like family? Apply now at GoForestGrid.com. Forest Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey guys, this is Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports, and we want you to stop in and see Drew at our apparel department. On-road or off-road, we've got you covered. Helmets, jackets, gloves, footwears, and everything in between. From top brands like Alpine Star, Icon, Scorpion, RST, Bell, and many more. Also see Lane and team at the Wheeler Power Sports parts department. From standard maintenance items to custom accessories and add-ons, Wheeler's got you. Wheeler Power Sports, 901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith. Keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Now at Hardee's, 2 hand-breaded chicken tender wraps are only $5. Mix and match your favorite flavors like buttermilk ranch, honey mustard, and spicy. Endless combinations start with 2 warm tortillas, each filled with 100% white meat, juicy on the inside, crispy on the outside, hand-breaded chicken tenders. Any 2 wraps, now just $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. These items only. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Visit restaurant for details.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym, but don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to gnc.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Please don't dominate the rap chat if you got nothing new to say. If you please don't back up the track, this train's gotta run today. I spent a little time on the mountain, spent a little time on the hill. Heard some say better run away, others say you better stand still. Now I don't know, but I've been told it's hard to run with the way to go. Other hand, I've heard it said that it's just as hard with the way to let.
Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Well, here's a name we hadn't heard in a while. Julie Cromers. We're going to be working in the administration at LSU after, I think it was a 6-year run as the athletics director at Ohio. Be executive deputy athletic director and chief operating officer for LSU athletics. Well, congratulations to Julie. She's one of the people responsible for me doing Razorback games. And, of course, she also was acting athletic director when the Hogs hired Chad Morris.
Yeah, that's a feather in your cap.
Pregnant pause for a reason.
Well,
she got one of them right.
Got to do a shout out to 45. Next time we see 45 Phil, he's going to be a father, and they will induce. Is that what the proper term?
That's right. That's the way you can plan ahead.
If
now.
on Sunday, if she hasn't had the baby, they're going to do it Sunday for sure. So hopefully everything goes well. Everybody's healthy, and
did we hear about
congratulations.
Bo Mattingly? I know he's going to be a grandfather, but this time yesterday I thought maybe the kid would have been born, but I think I hadn't heard. So, I mean, it's a kind of a wild time for people who work at ESPN Arkansas. We've got Bo now a grandfather, And C45 is going to be a dad soon. I'm excited for him. Like, that is the most frightening thing you go into in life is parenthood for the first time.
And I'll be a married man in December.
You?
Yeah.
You will? You're going to remember her birthday next time?
Yes.
What-
we had to. We
what
put it
day-
off. Once I forgot her birthday, we had to put it off.
What day is her birthday? And then what day are y'all getting married on?
June 18th.
Okay.
And then we're getting married on December 6th.
D6, D-Day. Okay.
That's a good day to get married.
Absolutely.
My parents were December marriage. They're on 54 years now.
In Panama City.
Panama City. Well, that's good. So that means
Panama City, Panama.
Oh, that's in Panama. I was going to say,
Yeah.
is that Panama City, Florida? Okay, very good.
Weather's similar there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit sweatier. December the 6th in Panama City, Panama. Wow, C Unit. That's exotic. That's an exotic wedding.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. We might do a tour.
Y'all got it? Does she got any cool traditions or something that you got to do that's different than an American wedding?
You know, I'm not totally brushed up on. I mean, they do a few things different here and there, but it's mainly the same.
Also, just wanted to
Whatever
let
she
you,
says, huh?
wanted
It's
to
whatever
let you
she
know,
says, yeah.
Mike Irwin was live tweeting from the hospital bed yesterday and this morning. He's even got a sense of humor. These big sumo wrestling devices on his legs are driving him nuts and helping prevent blood clots. So it's good to see. Mike still has a sense of humor back. So I don't know. He says he's going to be back to work next week. We'll find out soon enough. I just know we'll be back to work next week. That's when Matt and me and Christian all reconvene for another award-winning edition of Halftime. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. It started right now. For Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, I'm Phil. That's Halftime. Have a great start to your weekend. See you Monday. Get up, get out, and get better.